Are you bored living a mediocre life? We were too, and we know how to change that. Each week, we'll leave our comfort zones to explore a new topic, then step onto our soapboxes, a safe space to sound off on our latest adventure. Come explore with us. All opinions are welcome. This is a mindset. This is a lifestyle. This is Siren Soapbox.
Hello and welcome, fellow explorers. Thank you for tuning in today to participate in the celebration of the 1-year anniversary of the very first episode of Siren Soapbox.
Yay!
We are shaking things up a little bit in this episode. It's going to be a 2-part episode. In the first half, we're going to talk about our favorite moments from this year, maybe what we've learned or what we hope for the future of the Siren Soapbox. And then after that, we're going to be talking about a 3-question personality test and a product that I made all the sirens try. That's right, it's time for another mystery episode, and this girl's at the helm. So totally par for the course, considering about a year ago, I asked everyone, what if we start a podcast? So, sirens, what did we think about the past year? If at any time the conversation gets too intense, our safe word is
Mango.
First up on her soapbox is Myrrh.
Thanks. This year has been so much fun. I feel like our show has gotten so much better and continues to blossom into something that I'm completely fascinated with. My goal for the next year is to continue growing the show and to start to earn enough money at minimum to cover our monthly expenses for the show. I also dream of having spin-off shows where we get to interview people about their comfort zones and how they break free of them, or maybe there's a spin-off that is just ghost stories. I don't know exactly what it looks like. I just feel like this baby isn't done growing. My favorite moment from this past year was when Cindy Ratzlaff told us that we inspired her to leave her comfort zone to go ziplining. I absolutely love that we inspired someone to do something. It was my hope 1 year ago on our very first show that we would inspire somebody, and mission accomplished. I'm proud of what we do here each week, and I'm thankful that I get to do it with each one of you. And with that, on to Sarah.
Well, thank you, Myrrh. First of all, I'd like to congratulate the Sirens on their 1-year anniversary. I'm really happy for you and us, and I can't wait for the next anniversary and all those that will follow. I haven't been part of the Siren podcast since the start. I joined as a guest in May this year and basically never left. I'm so thrilled to be part of this amazing group of ladies. I'll never forget how honored I felt when I became a full-time Siren. When I think back to my first episode, I remember how nervous I was. I raced through my soapbox and was so relieved when it was done. Then I freaked out whenever I thought someone was talking to me and was expecting a response. I'm so proud of how much more comfortable I am talking about myself and expressing my opinions in just 6 short months. I thank the Siren Soapbox and my fellow Sirens for that. When you think about what the Sirens are trying to do with this podcast, helping people become more comfortable with being uncomfortable and getting out of their comfort zones, I think it's safe to say that we can call me a success story. I can only imagine that as more and more listeners dive in with us, we will continue to cultivate an adventurous spirit all over the world. As to my favorite episode, it would have to be our crowning ceremony. It was great meeting the queens the first time around, and it was amazing to take part in this crowning ceremony and get my very own crown. And with that, we will now listen to Jess's pre-recorded soapbox.
That's right. So, thank you, Sarah. Jess is living her dream, and she is in Hawaii, so we will play her soapbox now.
Happy anniversary, Sirens! My favorite episode so far was probably with Paul Boynton, and that is because I just loved his book/workshop so much. I feel like it really helped me in my move to Hawaii, which I am in Hawaii, which is why I'm not able to record, because I have to start my new job and work out a schedule so I can keep recording. So I feel like it really helped me make things achievable, and I really liked that. And also Paul was just so nice and comforting and encouraging. So I really liked that. As far as my biggest lesson I've learned with the soapbox is to just shut up and do it. To just embrace stepping outside of my comfort zone, even though sometimes I don't really want to or might be nervous about what we're doing. I think all of the experiences that we've had so far have been a lot of fun, and I'm glad that I've done them. And my goal would just be to do what I can to help with our next goal of reaching our 5,000 followers. So I think that we're well on our way, and just keep doing what we're doing.
Cool. With that, on to TC.
This year has been pretty crazy for Siren Soapbox. I've spent the last week listening to some past episodes and remembering how I felt when Elsie first suggested we start a podcast. I had almost zero interest in that until I realized that zero interest was because I was afraid. And then I became very interested in that. But I also remember wondering who would want to listen to us chat. And that's gone all the way to researching and looking at places we can present and how we can build the podcast. And so for me, it's gone from a place of this is something to try because I'm afraid to do it to this is something that I really believe in and really love and want to nurture and grow. And that has been an exciting year for me. My favorite podcast, my favorite episode of Siren Soapbox, I think, is Are You Happy? Episode 31. This one really pushed me out of my comfort zone. And the reward for that was a huge high of positive energy. I loved hearing people's stories about their happiness. It was amazing to hear people explain just why they're so happy. So picture me floating in the Caribbean, pushing myself to do something that's a little scary, and hearing people give reasons for their happiness. That is Tracy Utopia. My goals for Siren Soapbox, I really hope that we can find some ways to bring the same sense of adventure and exploring to women all over the world. And we've been exploring different ways to do that and haven't hit upon just the right thing. I know when we do, we'll feel it and we'll know it's our new thing. And I'm really looking forward to experiencing that with the Sirens. Next up on her soapbox is Elsie.
So much has changed in just a year, and I can't believe all the things that we've accomplished. And in the day-to-day, it's easy to forget, and it's easy to think that maybe we haven't inspired or influenced anyone. But then you look at the big picture, and we really have done something here, girls. We started with 6, went down to 4, and we've expanded to 18 Sirens from all over the world. We're in Hawaii, California, Ohio, Kentucky, Florida, St. Croix, Thailand, and more. I have met so many amazing people. I personally have reconnected with a friend from grade school, a friend from high school, a friend from a previous job, and connected with a longtime family member. We got to interview some of my favorite authors, Paul Boynton, Mary Alice Monroe, Dr. Ian, Jonathan Pritchard, Tracy Langston, Doug Hensley, and soon-to-be author Mike Rucker. We interviewed my favorite TV actress, Kathy Kinney, and a marketing superstar with over 100 New York Times bestselling books, Cindy Ratzlaff. Interviewed 2 amazing TikTokers, Bird Lady Drin and Atheed from Are You Happy documentary. We had some of our family members on the show, like Bill, Jack, Dean, who will be on next week, and we adopted Sarah as a full-time Siren. We learned to ride motorcycles, made a new friend with Sea Traveler, hunted for ghosts with a man responsible for the ghost warning sign at a haunted bar. We have had inspiring women like Megan, Autumn, Stephanie, and Liz on the show who are all trying to conserve our environment, and we learned how to meditate with Renee. When we started this adventure, we would just get on and discuss different topics. And then we became so much more by diving outside of our comfort zone and adding a challenge to explore each week. This practice of challenging myself and being able to reflect on it with a group of people I feel safe with, and having to sit down and come up with a 2-minute soapbox to dig deeper on how I felt, has really led to a lot of personal growth and happiness. I want to keep going on these adventures and inspiring others to get out of their comfort zone and explore too. I want us to do a presentation somewhere, write a book, be interviewed on the Drew Barrymore show. Hit us up, Drew. I want to do it all, but starting with the next step, which is this YouTube channel. So, ladies, opening up the floor. What did you guys think of re-listening to our first episodes?
They were really difficult to listen to.
Right?
Yeah, like I feel like I interrupted everybody all the time. I cussed all the time. We had like the very first episode, I just got up and left the room in the middle of the episode. It was very unprofessional of me. And I feel like personally, I've grown and I've become a better co-host of a podcast.
I agree. The first few episodes were a little bit chaotic and they were difficult to listen to. And it brought back a lot of those feelings that I had when, you know, I questioned, why do people want to listen to what we're chatting about? But it was also really fun to think about how much we've gone from then till now and to listen to some of the differences. We've had some tough conversations with each other about, you know, interrupting and cussing. And so I think that all of those tough conversations have made us closer and brought the podcast further.
It was kind of like cats in the first couple episodes.
I find it really odd listening to episodes that happened before my time because I keep wanting to chime in and say something. And then I realize, I'm actually just listening here. We're not recording. So all the thing, I'm like, I want to say this as soon as she's finished. And then I couldn't do it. But it's a lot of fun to see how far this podcast has come over the year.
And I do want to say, Sarah, like, congrats to you too, because you might not have been on every single episode, but you've been on the majority of the episodes. And especially when it got harder, when we're challenging ourselves to do all this stuff behind the scenes, like, I don't think people realize how much effort that takes now. And before it was just, we'd hop on for an hour and talk about whatever the topic is for that week. So I think you get just as much congrats as everybody else.
Definitely.
I'm so happy to be here.
And I think some people realize, because I have a friend who told me just looking at what you guys are doing and what's coming up and listening to your podcast is a little overwhelming. I don't know how you keep up with all of that.
Yeah, that's a challenge sometimes, but I really love it. I mean, I think it's been pretty clear that I've had a rough couple of months, and having something to do, like, you know, forcing myself to get out of the house and do something or read a book even has been really good for me. So I'm glad that I have this. And
you mean read a dozen books?
Yeah. Sarah, we got to catch you up on some things.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Oh no.
Books we have to read. The next month.
You're giving me a whole month? Oh.
Yeah, for
No
$2.
problem.
So it'll be easy. It'll be fine. But Elsie, I love that one of your goals is to be interviewed by Drew Barrymore on the Drew Barrymore show, because I love that show. I watch it every day when I work from home, and I've been thinking about writing her. So I feel like it's a sign and we just have to do it.
Yeah.
She's to reach out to her. Oh, for sure. And I think she would totally be on board with our message of spreading positivity and exploration and leaving your comfort zones.
I'm going to put that out for the universe.
I'm trying to remember. I know she was on my list of people to reach out to. I'm hoping I didn't blow that one by sending that letter.
Oh, I sent a letter to her too.
I think I did too.
I think I did.
We all blew it in the Dear Celebrity episode, but that was such a fun episode.
It was. If I didn't send her a letter, I meant to. So
I crossed her off my list. I mustn't have been able to get through. So
didn't burn that bridge.
I do love that now we have a website and a blog.
TC, that blog is so fun to read every week. Or whenever it gets up. Maybe not every week, but mostly every week.
Everybody's so quiet.
I know.
I know,
I think we're
because
maybe a little bit nervous about what might be coming up next.
none of us know what to expect when Elsie puts her mind to something.
Plus, I know I interrupted you, so I was waiting for you to finish the thought that I overpowered your voice on. No, no. All right. I was looking for my list of celebrities to see if I reached out to Drew Barrymore.
I know that I did not reach out to Drew Barrymore yet.
Yeah.
I tried, but I guess I couldn't get through on either Instagram or Messenger. So
I love that the format has pretty much stayed the same, where we get up and we do a approximately 2-minute soapbox. It's been a little bit of a learning curve to get a natural flow for a soapbox, but I think what we have works right now. I'm glad we don't use a seagull sound to time you guys anymore.
Yeah.
The intro and outro are so much better.
Oh,
Nice work
and
on that, Merhaj.
there's going to be a new one on this episode. If you're listening to this episode, you may have already heard it.
Love it. Oh, I didn't add C strings to my list of things I'm happy about. People we've reached out to. They do an amazing job.
Yeah, they do. Our music is great. Perfect.
Mm-hmm. So happy. I'm gonna cut out these frogs chirping in the YouTube video.
And on the podcast.
My frogs.
Yeah.
Literally crickets. Now I feel like we're just waiting for the next thing. Maybe I did this in the wrong order, but you know what?
That's all right. We can cut all of this out. We can just now we can just talk we can pretend this is just a break. We're just taking a break right now. We can cut all this out.
It's ready, aim, or no, ready. What did you always say?
Ready, fire, aim.
Ready, fire, aim.
Yeah,
You never know until you try.
that's exactly right. I think it's fine. Actually, this would be a good time to refill our drinks, maybe. If anybody needs to do that. No, I'm serious. I thought we were going to cut all this out. Tracy, why are you shaking your head at me?
What is everyone drinking tonight?
Captain Morgan and Diet.
Nice.
I just
had
go.
bone broth,
What is
with
it?
salt and pepper, and I basically just chewed through a teaspoon of pepper at the end. So
Yuck.
luckily, I have some wine to wash it down.
Good.
Was that your dinner, Sarah, or just a snack?
Kind of. I lost track of time and started a really stupid project right before I got on here, which really ticked me off, and I shouldn't have done it. And so that was all I had time for. But the cat litter box is really clean now.
Oh, that's good.
Are you drinking
Stupid
red
cats.
wine?
Me?
Yeah. That's why I have a straw with my wine. Otherwise, my mouth will be a hot purple mess later.
That's funny. I would have never thought to use a straw in my wine to avoid hot purple messes.
We'll see how well it
I
works.
love these.
I was getting ready to ask everyone why their screens were slightly off color. And then I remember that I had these orange glasses on.
That's hilarious, Tracy.
Mine make everything too dark.
Mine makes everything brighter.
Mine too.
Mine makes everything darker, which makes sense because mine are a darker hue and so are LC's, and you other two people have lighter hued glasses. Other two people.
What time is our mystery guest coming on?
The normal time. The same bat time on the same bat channel.
7.
Ah,
Yeah.
AKA 8 for those of us who don't change time.
Oh, that's right.
This is the part in the podcast where I say, our
What
guest,
if we get stood up?
our guest isn't going to show up? It's the secret recipe. You have to say that, and then we mysteriously show up.
Except that one time.
We don't talk about that one time. We still need to reschedule that
Yeah, he was totally apologetic eventually.
eventually when he figured it out.
Right.
I think that was a scheduling website problem and not a him problem.
Mhm.
I guess.
So how is everybody's Monday?
Everybody's excited to answer that question, I see.
I'm still playing with my tail.
I'm reading my
That
soapbox.
was funny.
Say that.
Mine was a stressful.
Fuck. I don't like this format.
I know. None of us know. We're all like, and then
And done. No, I'm done. That looks perfect.
So when we do the next one, we're just doing the color and the animal. We're not to do the water, right? Body water.
oh, I'm doing the water.
You can.
I am.
Okay. But it means something. It's kind of like how you were kind of tiptoeing around with Cokeology. Like, I don't know if I should say the answer to the thing that you answered.
Oh, this is like the 10th episode where you're like, name your favorite animal.
It's
And then-
extinct.
And then name your second favorite. And then name your third.
It's kind of like that, yeah.
Suddenly people view me or I view myself as a cockroach.
Survivor.
That's right. That's right. We should have known that her question wasn't just an innocent question.
Hi, do you know me at all?
I know. No, that was episode 10. I didn't know you that well yet.
It's true. I mean about tonight though too, that those questions probably mean something else.
Oh, I was certain about that.
So
Okay.
yeah, my soapbox goes through my favorite color, my favorite animal, and my favorite body of water.
Me too. Me too.
And then how I feel about the glasses. It's 4 paragraphs long.
Me too. But now mine is not. Now mine's probably the right length because I took out my favorite episode.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be fine.
My answers are pretty short.
Mine are too.
Deep, but short.
Oh,
Well, deep-ish.
Did you guys hear about Astro World this weekend?
About what?
Astro World.
No,
It's really depressing. So that doesn't surprise me.
I don't know what that is.
It was a concert that went to hell. It was crazy.
so yeah. Do you just want to know what happened, Tracy?
Nah.
Nah.
Figured if she didn't already know, she probably doesn't want to know.
I remember one time I was outside with my neighbor smoking, and he was like, "What about that plane that's missing?" And I was like, "What? There's an entire airplane missing?" I was just so disconnected from what was happening. Sometimes that's blissful.
Mm-hmm.
I am by choice. I don't have any not ashamed or have any regrets about that.
Yeah.
All right. It's almost that time.
8:00 on my clock.
I'm going to start my intro
Okay.
and then we'll see.
All right.
She
You're gonna
They-
count down?
Is this gonna be 2 separate episodes?
could be. Do we want it to be? I don't know.
I don't know. We'll talk about that later.
It's gonna be really short once you slice out the majority of it.
That was a mistake. My bad. At least
We'll
we're
get a-
recording this time, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, that
I'm
would
gonna
be
get my
awful.
blanket really quickly. It's just right here. It's just right
Okay.
there.
Okay. What was I gonna say? I don't know.
I just don't know. There's no way I can know.
I don't know how you could know.
Mm-mm.
All right, as soon as she gets back.
Is your person here?
No.
No.
Now. Let me check the Insta.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Siren Soapbox, and a special thank you to C Strings for providing our music. Snag their latest EP from iTunes today. Follow the Sirens on all the social medias, and don't forget to tell your friends about us. Like and subscribe wherever you listen to your podcasts. We'll catch you next time on another episode of Siren Soapbox.